What's going on, guys? Make sure you look down in the description below where you'll find the small town mystery boxes that I have for sale. The code was Street Level Hero LA, where you can get 10% off your order and raise some money for a great cause, the American Cancer Society. Also, the playlist to the Road to 1,000 subscriber giveaways down there, so you can find out how to get entered into this crazy giveaway we're going to do once I hit 1,000 subs. Today, we're going to talk about the first appearances and key issues for the greatest day of the week. New Comic Book Day, August 4th, 2021. So let's get started. I'm Jimmy Don Kerr, and this is the SmallTown Collectibles YouTube channel. So before we get into our covers and our first appearances and our top 5, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscription button. Turn on that notification bell so that you get notified when I put out new content. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up and leave a comment below and let me know what you think about the list this week. Are there any books I'm missing? Anything that you're reading that maybe I should? Alright, with that said, let's jump into our covers. Okay, so for covers this week, I really didn't have anything that stood out to me. So I really don't have any covers for the list this week. I do want to point out that it is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and there are some covers out there. For example, Hellions 14 and Immortal Hulk 49. I'm going to throw those up on the screen here. It's not necessarily anything that interests me, but it could interest you, so I wanted to make sure you knew that those were out there this week. But that is it for the covers this week. Let's jump into our second prints. Okay, so for second prints this week, there are actually a ton, and I've got some second, some fourth, some fifth printings on here, and they're pretty much all stray dogs. But the first one is Skybound X #1, the second print, and then you've got a whole list of multiple printings for the Stray Dogs title. You've got Stray Dogs #1, the fifth print. The cover art on this is inspired by Bram Stoker's Dracula. And you also have another Stray Dogs #1 fifth print, but it's a blank cover. So you can pick one of those up if you need, to get some art done on or have a remark done on. There is a blank Stray Dogs #1 coming out this week. Then you've got Stray Dogs #2, the fourth print. And this is inspired by the 28 Days Later film. Really cool looking cover. Then you've got Stray Dogs #3, the fourth print. Stray Dogs #4, the fourth print. And then you have Stray Dogs #5, the second print, which is a variant second printing cover art by Trish Forster. It's a 1 in 10 variant, and I love this cover. It is inspired by The Crow. And then there's another Stray Dogs #5 second print, just a normal with the main character or the main dog on the cover. It's a pretty cool looking cover. But yeah, there are a ton of Stray Dogs, multiple printings this week, and that is the list. So let's jump into our first appearances. So pretty light week for first appearances. The first one on my list is Black Panther #1. The solicitation mentions an unnamed Wakandan secret agent. And this book does have a beautiful wraparound cover. I put this on the first appearances list just to be on the lookout for it. I couldn't confirm that there was a true first appearance, only that there was an unnamed Wakandan secret agent. So this could be a new character in a book that you maybe want to be on the lookout for. The second book, and really these are the only two this week on the first appearance list, is Extreme Carnage Lasher #1. And in this book, you get the first appearance of a new symbiote. Alright guys, that's it for the first appearances this week. Really light week for you if you pick up first appearances. But now let's jump into the honorable mentions. Honorable mentions list this week is loaded up, guys. Now there's a few books that are coming out this week that I read or are on my pull list, and that's Suicide Squad #6, Swamp Thing #6, Geiger #5, Stillwater #9, Basilisk #3, and Tankers #3. All those books are out this week and are all books that are on my pull list. And books that I can't wait to pick up, especially Swamp Thing. Like, Swamp Thing is great. Like, it is really, really good right now. And if you're not reading that, maybe a book you want to check out. Suicide Squad's been really good. And all the other, and Stillwater by Chip Zdarsky's been great as well. Here are the books we're going to highlight covers for. First up, from Bad Idea, is Passive Aggressive #1. In this book, it's a vigilante known as the Watch is headed to Russia with 8.8 billion reasons to kill every last member of the Russian hacking farm that robbed him, and justice will be measured in broken bones and gallons of blood. That sounds dope. Bad idea. Like I said, I've said it on here many times, whether you like the way they've done things and brought books to market's one thing, but the titles have been really solid, and that passive-aggressive #1 looks like it's going to be another good one. Then you've got Skybound X #5 from Image, and this is the conclusion of the Rick Grimes 2000 story. There's also the debut of an unknown new project from Robert Kirkman and Jason Howard from Super Dinosaur. And this is the final issue of Skybound's 10th anniversary special. So the debut of an unknown project from Robert Kirkman and Jason Howard does pique my interest somewhat. This is definitely a book that I'm going to grab. I've enjoyed the Rick Grimes 2000 story, so it's definitely a book I'm going to pick up. But I'm really excited to see what this unknown story from Kirkman is, so I'm going to check that one out. Next up, from Scout, we've got Lucky Devil #1. The synopsis on this one reads, a loser possessed by a demon receives an exorcism, but retains all the entity's powers, resulting in a cult forming around him and agents from hell on his trail. Scout does books like this really, really well. I'm definitely going to check out Lucky Devil #1 to see how I like it. Next up, from Ablaze, we've got Porcelain #1. A girl lives a simple life until she enters the dollhouse, where she is in danger of becoming the building's prey. Again, #1, wanted to include it on the list. Doesn't necessarily interest me, but still wanted to let you know it was out there. And then you've got Action Tank #1 from Scout. The synopsis on this one is a young boy wakes up to find himself on the other side of the solar system, and that he has been drafted into the Intergalactic Space Trooper Squadron, charged with operating the most powerful piece of technology in the universe, the Action Tank. That sounds kind of fun. Book I'll probably give a flip through, see if I like it. Next up, we've got Golem Walks Among Us #1. After being awakened from his long sleep in a shrine in Eastern Europe, Joseph the Golem aids in the fight against witches that have returned to terrorize humanity. Then we've got Count Draco Knuckle Duster #1. This one has a pretty cool cover, and this is a sequel to Phantom Starkiller. Then we've got Spirits of Vengeance, Spirit Rider #1 from Marvel, and this is the first solo series featuring Spirit Rider Kushala, formerly Demon Rider, a Sorcerer Supreme, and a Spirit of Vengeance. And then from DC, we have a couple of Joker books. You've got The Joker Presents a Puzzle Box #1. This is a 7-issue limited series and an anthology of stories told by the Joker. And then you've got Suicide Squad Get Joker #1, and this is a 3-issue limited series written by Brian Azzarello and illustrated by Alex Malik. This is the DC villains hunt down the Joker, so that could be fun. And for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans out there, we've got TMNT, The Best of Casey Jones #1, and this is a book of reprinted stories across multiple publishers featuring the classic Casey Jones stories. Then from Image, we've got Trevor Saves the Universe #1, and this is a 5-issue limited series inspired by the video game of the same name, developed by Justin Rowland, the creator of Rick and Morty. A little Transformers action making the honorable mention list this week, and that's Transformers King Grimlock #1, and this is a 5-issue limited series featuring Grimlock. Then we've got 7 to Eternity #17, and this is the final issue in this series. Then we've got Black Panther #1 from Marvel, written by John Ridley, the Academy Award winning screenwriter of 12 Years a Slave. Then we jump over to a new Black, White, and Blood book, and that's Deadpool, Black, White, and Blood #1. And this is going to be just like the others. You had Carnage, and then DC's even been doing them with Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. This is an anthology of stories in the 3 colors associated with Deadpool. Then we have Guardians of the Galaxy, Annual 2021 #1. You've got Hercules versus the Prince of Power, and this is an Infinite Destinies tie-in. Then we have Immortal Hulk #49, and this is the second to final issue of the Al Ewing run. Not looking forward to that being over, but I am interested to see what Donny Cates can do with the title. Then we have Miles Morales, Marvel Tales #1, and this is reprinted material from the Ultimate Fallout #4 and Ultimate Comics Spider-Man #1 through 5 that was printed in 2011. So if you're wanting to catch up on Miles and how Miles came to be, this would be a great book to grab, and it's a what you would call a reader copy, right? You don't want to read your Ultimate Fallout 4 or even some of the books from Ultimate Comics, so you could grab this book and read the Miles Morales history. Of course, what would a list be without Star Wars? We've got Star Wars, War of the Bounty Hunters, number 4, Lam and Zuckuss, number 1. This is an origin of 4-LOM and Zuckuss, and specifically how they became partners. Origin stories are always fun, and Star Wars is really hot right now, so that could be a good book to pick up. Then we have X-Men number 2. This is another Last Annihilation tie-in. And wrapping up the honorable mentions list this week is Avengers number 47, where She-Hulk becomes the Winter Hulk. Now, I don't know if this is a first appearance of any kind. She-Hulk becoming the Winter Hulk, kind of like the Hulk becoming the Immortal Hulk. I don't know. I didn't list it as a first appearance. I know that the She-Hulk is basically at the Red Room where the Black Widow was trained, and that they're trying to get to Jennifer Walters. So I don't know. But anyway, Avengers number 47, She-Hulk becomes the Winter Hulk. That wraps up the honorable mention list this week, guys. There's a bunch of books on there. Another expensive week, of course. But now it's time for our top 5. Okay, so number 5 on the list this week, probably my favorite title to read right now, The Nice House on the Lake, number 3. Of course, this is written by James Tynion and illustrated by Alvaro Martinez Bueno. Cannot wait to read this book. I've been itching since I read number 2. It's one of those where you're reading it and you run out of pages and you're not done yet. So really excited to get this one out this week and read it. And that's Nice House on the Lake, number 3. And that's number 5 on the list. Number 4 on the list is Not All Robots, number 1. And this is from AWA Upshot. And the synopsis reads, in the year 2056, every human family is assigned a robot who they are completely dependent upon, and the Walters suspect that theirs is planning to kill them. That sounds really cool to me. Basically, you have a robot that's like your butler. You're completely dependent on it, and it wants to kill you. Yeah, that sounds fun. And I know, there's been movies out there like that. There was a Will Smith movie, I cannot think of the name of it to save my life, where the robots had kind of turned on the people, or some of the robots had. But anyway, that sounds fun. Not All Robots, number 1 at number 4 this week. Number 3 on the list this week is actually a cover, and it's funny that I have a cover on my top 5 list when I didn't have any real covers that I wanted to buy this week. But that is Red Room number 3, the variant cover by Jim Rugg. Now this is a 1 in 15 cover, and the cover art is inspired by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1 from 1984. So anytime you have a homage like this, especially with a title like Red Room that has been pretty hot, and you get a homage cover with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and such a classic cover, that's got to make your list. That's definitely a book that I'm going to be on the lookout for if I can pick it up. Maybe that's a book you want to grab too. And that's Red Room number 3, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles homage cover. Number 2 on our list, and this was actually my pick. I helped out the Comic Vet this week over on his channel with the 2 cool guys, 2 hot picks. And he had already picked the book that's actually going to be number 1 on my list. And my pick was this book, We Don't Kill Spiders, number 1. And the story reads, in the early Viking age, a faithless Norseman detective is summoned to a Scandinavian hamlet where a series of murders have occurred. So basically, you've got this Norseman who teams up with this witch. That's the basic premise of the story, to solve a series of murders. So you've essentially got a serial killer in the Viking Age. Yes. Yes, yes. I am absolutely down for that. Like, that sounds like so much fun. This is a book that Scout Comics does really, really well. And I cannot wait to read We Don't Kill Spiders, number 1. All right, guys, we're here. We're to number 1 on the list this week. And this was actually my boy Chris the Comic Vet's pick over on his channel with 2 cool guys, 2 hot picks. Go over and check Chris out. Great channel. Go sub him up. He's also part of my Road to 1,000 subscriber giveaway. That book is Me, You, Love in the Dark, number 1. This is a 5-issue limited series about an artist who escapes the city to an old house in a small town to find solace and inspiration without realizing the muse within is not what she expected. This is a Scotty Young book, written by Scotty Young. I've read some of Scotty Young's stuff. I've always liked it. I think this is going to be fun and right up Scotty Young's alley. I think the art's going to be cool. There is a really, really nice cover B on this one as well that Scotty Young did. So Me, You, Love in the Dark #1 is my #1 book this week. Cannot wait to read it. All right, guys, that is the list for the week. Appreciate you coming and spending a little time with me here on the channel. I really do appreciate it. Like I said in the beginning, we are on our road to 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you check that playlist out down in the description below and find out how you can get entered on my channel and the other 10 channels that are helping me out with this giveaway. I hope you guys have the greatest new comic book day in the world. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, turn on that notification bell, and as I always end these things, until next time.